In a moment that stunned fans and tugged at the heartstrings of ARMY worldwide, BTS's Jin was spotted at Incheon International Airport late Tuesday night, quietly waiting for Jungkook's arrival. What initially seemed like an ordinary airport appearance turned into a whirlwind of emotion when Jin, despite his tight schedule and evident exhaustion, greeted Jungkook with a long, heartfelt hug that left witnesses speechless. Clad in a simple hoodie and black face mask, Jin kept a low profile, yet his presence radiated undeniable warmth and maturity. Jungkook, who had just returned from his private schedule in Los Angeles, appeared surprised to find Jin at the arrival gate. The younger member was visibly moved as he dropped his luggage and immediately embraced Jin. What fans didn't expect was the extended moment they shared. No words spoken, just a silent, lingering embrace that cameras barely managed to capture before staff ushered them away. Observers at the scene reported seeing Jin's shoulders tremble slightly, leading to speculation that he may have been holding back tears. Many ARMYs believe this was Jin's way of showing deep support and affection for Jungkook, who has recently been under immense public scrutiny and pressure. Social media erupted shortly after the encounter, with the hashtag Jin and Jungkook reunion trending globally. Fans posted emotional reactions with comments like, "Jin is the kind of hyung we all need," and "You can feel Jin's love through that hug." Some users noted that Jin hasn't been seen publicly in days, suggesting he had been preparing something important or simply needed time to reflect. Yet, despite his packed schedule, brand deals, and rumored meetings with HYB execs, Jin made it a point to be present at that exact moment. A small action that spoke volumes. The timing of this reunion comes just days after Jin wrapped up his own solo projects and was reportedly involved in confidential meetings regarding BTS's group activities for 2026. Industry insiders claim that Jin has been taking a larger role in internal discussions, and his presence at the airport might have carried more meaning than fans initially thought. Was this merely a warm welcome, or was Jin silently showing Jungkook that he's not facing the world alone? What remains clear is the emotional weight of this encounter. Two brothers reuniting not just as idols, but as people. In a world of flashing cameras, media rumors, and overwhelming expectations, Jin and Jungkook gave ARMY a rare glimpse of vulnerability, loyalty, and silent strength. And sometimes, that's louder than any speech. While many idol reunions are met with cheers and media buzz, there was something profoundly quiet yet seismic about Jin's simple gesture toward Jungkook. It wasn't for the cameras, it wasn't planned for promotions, it felt human. A glimpse into the private love that has held BTS together through the harshest winds of fame. As they exited the terminal, Jin subtly guided Jungkook through the gathering crowd of airport staff and fans, shielding him with his own body at times, never letting go of the younger member's hand for more than a second. Jungkook, though usually confident and composed, walked beside Jin with a look of vulnerability, tired, emotional, perhaps even overwhelmed. To the fans who noticed, it was clear. This wasn't just a reunion, but a rescue from the noise, a statement of silent solidarity from the eldest Hyung to the youngest Magne. Rumors began swirling shortly after that this warm reception wasn't spontaneous. Sources close to HYB suggested Jin had specifically arranged to clear a few hours in his already packed schedule just to be at the airport that evening. A source allegedly overheard Jin telling a manager, "I don't care if the meeting has to be pushed, he's coming home, and he shouldn't walk out alone." Netizens couldn't hold back their tears. One post on X read, "That's not just Jin the superstar, that's Seokjin the brother." Another viral comment said, "They're not just bandmates, they're family." That hug was 10 years of memories wrapped in silence. The phrase "Jin waited" even began trending across platforms, symbolizing patience, brotherhood, and unspoken love. Even more touching, some fans noticed Jin carrying a small bag with him. Some speculate it might have been food or a gift for Jungkook. Others believe it held something symbolic, perhaps even a memento from their trainee days. True or not, the mere possibility of such a gesture was enough to spark fan theories and emotional tributes, as the two disappeared into a black SUV, with tinted windows shielding them from the outside world. Fans were left with blurry photos and silent tears, and an overwhelming appreciation for the relationship that Jin and Jungkook share. In an era where fame often fractures bonds, this reunion reminded everyone that BTS isn't just a band. It's a bond. It's home. And Jin? He is and always has been its foundation. As the black SUV faded into the night, the emotions Jin had held back began to rise again, this time in private. Those closest to the duo later shared that Jin had prepared more than just a warm welcome at the airport. Inside the vehicle, Wrapped in a simple cloth was a handwritten letter, something Jin hadn't done in a while. Sources close to HYB claim the letter contained heartfelt words of encouragement, personal reflections from Jin's time away during his military service, and a message of trust. You've grown so much, but please don't carry it all alone. Jungkook, usually so unshakably cool in the public eye, was reportedly seen quietly wiping away a tear as he read it. The car didn't drive directly to HYB HQ or a luxury penthouse in Seoul. Instead, the staff was instructed to head toward the Han River. Jin wanted to take Jungkook to a familiar spot they used to visit when the pressure became too loud and their future uncertain. It was there, under the moonlight by the Riverside, that the two reportedly sat in silence. No cameras, no lights, no stage, just two brothers reconnecting after distance. Fame and duty tried to steal away their time. For many fans, this wasn't just a reunion. It was a resurrection of the BTS soul that had been scattered for months due to mandatory service and personal endeavors. Armies who had feared that the group's bond might slowly loosen were given the strongest proof yet that BTS was never just about music. It was about family, online. The hashtag Jin with Jungkook flooded timelines. Fan art, edits, and emotional letters filled fan spaces. Some fans recalled early BTS interviews where Jin often spoke of his duty as the eldest to protect and guide the younger members. Now, years later, nothing had changed. He was still that pillar, wiser, stronger, and more loving than ever. As dawn broke the next morning, the world woke up to new photos, blurry, distant shots of Jin and Jungkook near the Han River, sitting on a bench with cups of coffee. No bodyguards, no flashy outfits. Just two men who had weathered the chaos of stardom and still chose to be there for each other. And maybe that's the greatest love story K-pop has ever told. Not one of romance, but of resilience, brotherhood, and unbreakable bonds. As dawn cast its soft glow over the Han River's glistening waters, Jin and Jungkook lingered on that quiet Riverside bench longer than many anticipated. The world beyond the riverbank, the paparazzi flashes, the fandom speculation, faded into a warm haze. It wasn't just a reunion. It was a moment suspended in time where two souls simply found each other again. A few staff members, maintaining respectful distance, captured the peaceful scene. Jin softly pushing Jungkook's hair back behind his ear. Jungkook sighing into the morning air, both sipping slowly from warm cups of coffee. No words were shared. There didn't need to be any. The comfort in their presence spoke volumes. When they finally rose and walked back toward the waiting vehicle, Jin reached out and gave Jungkook's hand a gentle squeeze. It was a touch heavier than affection. It was reassurance, promise, stability. Their eyes met, and for each second, they were just two humans finding familiarity in a life that often demanded distance. As they departed, it wasn't the silhouette of a superstar group departing that resonated. It was the silhouette of two brothers daring to